How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you another Marvel's What If Season 2 episode review. This is a review of episode 8, What If the Avengers Assembled in 1602. Before I go any further, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos just like this one. And if you want to support me even further, my Patreon link is in the description below. So, told you, we finishing this up. And hopefully once I finish this, I can go ahead and binge Echo. I probably won't finish Echo before the 20th, which is when X-Men 97 comes out. I have thoughts on X-Men 97, especially given that one of the guys that helped create this show, I'm blanking on his name. I know his initials are BW. BW has fired from it. He also helped write one of the scripts for Blade, which got thrown out, but he also helped write Moon Knight. Moon Knight's really good. Was it Moon Knight and Miss Marvel? I think it was just Moon Knight. But yeah, he wrote the first 2 seasons. Doesn't really bode well. I have so many thoughts and feelings on that, but this is not the video for it. But yes, I will be reviewing X-Men 97. I grew up with the 90s animated show. I actually remember one of the first things I did when I got Netflix back, way back in, was it 2010, 2011? That was one of the first shows I looked up. This is before all the Disney Plus crap, and everybody has a streaming service. I think this is even before Hulu. Hulu might have just came out, but yeah. I know people have nostalgia, but that show does not hold up. Regardless of such, we're talking about What If the Avengers Assembled in 1602. Yeah, the real title of this should be What If Steve Rogers was sent back in time when he fought Thanos, because that's literally the catalyst for this. And this episode, along with, what is the other episode? This episode, along with, I guess, not just episode 7, which was What If Hela Found the 10 Rings. She technically was found. That should be a different title too. I like that the titles are technically misnomers and don't tell you what the changing event was that led to this. This is obviously a continuation from episode 6. At the end of episode 6, where Carter was pulled through, and we see the Scarlet Witch, or the Scarlet Merlin. I forget what they call her in this, and Fury is there, and Thor was there. Thor was a bit of a dick in this one, not gonna lie. So is Happy Hogan. They just I love the fact that if Thor wants to pretend to not be his dad, he is really bad at it, because he blames Carter for his sister dying. She got sucked through a rift. That, again, if you don't see a body, or if you don't hear whirling and ripping, they ain't dead. And the interesting part is, Hela was the queen here, but she seemed very nice. It is my belief, and I can't remember if they said that this happened, because I watched this episode like 2 days ago. I can't remember if they said this was the case, but all these people are being pulled in from different multiverses. I think this might have been the nice Hela that we got to see last episode, and this Thor was some other random Thor. And then there's a Loki is obsessed with Iago, the Shakespearean play Iago. He's really into it. I'm trying to think who else is different here. Nick Fury just seems like a nice Nick Fury. He's friends with Carter. Even when Carter is on the run and she's outside, he's like, "You got your mission, soldier." Him and Scarlet Witch are both working together they got to fix this, because apparently the key of fixing this is there's a person who showed up here first, who was the catalyst of all this. And this world is not supposed to be like this. Pardon me. I was looking up the cast list just so I can know who played who. And I do remember who played who. The obvious people who didn't have their original actors play them in the voice roles. Obviously, it was Tony Stark, Captain America. Black Widow was there in the little beginning when we see Peg come through the portal. And I think everybody else was still there. Yeah, everybody else was their original voice actors. Or should I say their original actors. This episode really gives me a feeling that this might be what Deadpool and Wolverine's gonna be like. Different characters from different parts of the multiverse being different versions of the people that we know, which that seems pretty damn fun to me. I'm actually looking forward to Deadpool and Wolverine even more now. Another reason why I think that it's different, they come from different multiverses. They come from different multiverses that we've seen is because Happy Hogan is the freak. He is freak Happy Hogan from What If Happy Hogan Saves Christmas? Because the whole joke is don't get him mad, don't make him angry. We do get what we didn't get before in that episode is the freak versus the Hulk. That was really, really good. They use Elizabethan language, Shakespearean language. One of my favorite lines from Hulk is that smash, dash you upon the ground. And just Happy Hogan's so annoying because he keeps talking shit. He reminds me of not Lil Jon. I think was it the Prince? I think he reminds me of the Prince from Robin Hood Men in Tights. He is so insufferable, and it's so good when he gets his butt whooped by your guy right here. Sometimes Captain Carter can hear the Watcher speaking. Sometimes she can't. I do like their interactions because the Watcher he's not, I don't want to call him pessimistic. He is being realistic here. As a matter of fact, I want to find some of this. The Queen. Oh yeah, the scepter's there. The one with the gem that's in it. Obviously, that came from another multiverse as well. So that's kind of interesting. That one of the MacGuffins they need comes from a different universe. King even says it comes to the making of a Shakespearean tragedy. A king marred by loss, a soldier on the run in a world threatened to oblivion. 62. He says that among the multiverse, worlds are meant to die, but sometimes they're a glimmer of hopes. And she can hear him, and he's trying to tell her, look, you're not supposed to be here. Let me take you back home. And he does this, I want to say, twice in this episode. One is when she's chained up. Obviously, she can break those chains. She's Captain Carter. But, pardon me. But, he's seen millions of multiverses fade from existence. It happens every day. And she's like, not on my watch. And even the second time he has this conversation, which I want to, here we go. The second time he has this conversation, she is saying that if someone needs your help or if someone is hurt, you help them. And he says, there's some advice from an all-seeing being. You cannot possibly comprehend the consequences of your actions. Even if you find and destroy them, what if that's his final straw for this universe and it collapse? What if it doesn't correct itself? What if when the universe resets you, you're trapped here forever? What if you die? She's like, what if? I still have to try. He's like, because you're human, because I'm Captain Carter. I think he was telling you it's because you're human. And she said, you're not going to help me get out of the way. I do like the fact that, I don't think she said it the first time, but when she's like, no, I'm going to fix this, he just fades. We can see him, but she can't. He fades, and when she's like, get out the way, she runs through him. Literally runs through. He just, all right, fine. But it's like, whatever. I'm omniscient, omnipotent, all-seeing being. Cool. He's massive too. Yeah, you tend to forget how tall he is when he's in human height. He was like, 9 feet tall at least? But I do adore just seeing the Watcher's head in the sky, just watching everything. I really, really hope for whatever Avengers movie we get that is Secret Wars or Kang Dynasty or whatever we get that's this giant multiverse brawl. Actually, I really hope for Deadpool and Wolverine so we can get a Deadpool making a joke about Watcher early. I want the Watcher to be present, but I don't want us to necessarily see him. Like I want in the beginning of the movies, the Watcher's there, but we can't see him. And as the movie rolls on, it becomes more and more apparent that the Watcher is up there just looking down. I would really, really like that. I'm hoping that happens. I miss little Easter eggs, right? Like, And Iron Man 2, the kid with the gauntlet, they were saying that was Tom Holland Spider-Man. That was Peter Parker as a kid. And I actually think that might have been Tom Holland as a child actor. I think that might have actually been him. But that's what I like. I'm like and miss little Easter eggs like that. Pardon me. And going back to him saying, you don't know what your actions are going to do. He's actually right, because we've been on him with this journey for 2 seasons, and we have seen some of the actions that people take. They don't even know that they are breaking a universe. Strange Supreme, for example, is one of those individuals. It's fascinating. Also, when she asked, okay, can you tell me who the Forerunner is? He cannot look into the future or the past of a world that is like destined to be broken. So there's a limitation to his power, and I like how it's subtly dropped in there, and it's dropped in a way where it's supposed to be like, oh, so that's why he just can't tell her. Oh, ha ha. No, it's like, okay, there are limits, because we saw one of his limits towards the end of the first season was, if there's a being that reaches that level of power that he's at, he could be overpowered if he doesn't get any help. Now, I'm trying to figure out what else to talk about. As I mentioned before, the episode should be with Steve Rogers hits the time stone. Remember that? I'm gonna talk about that later. Let's talk about some of the jokes here, because I do enjoy that Captain Carter's run is kind of it is the heart of What If, and it's funny because her run in What If is kind of like the Hulk's run in the movies, where they can't make Hulk movies, and we can't make a whole show about Captain Carter because people might not watch it. But hey, since we have you here, we're gonna put you. Well, she had the first episode, her second episode. She was in the season finale. She's gonna be in this season finale, and she was in this episode. We're gonna put you in 5 episodes. 5 out of was it 9 episodes for season 1? We're gonna put you in 5 episodes out of 18. That's pretty damn good. And if they do a season 3 of What If, I want to see them go further, but I don't want to see them have her do exactly what Steve did, because at the end of this, we do get that allusion to, oh man, are we never going to get our happy ending? And the other Steve goes, I think in some world we do, but this isn't the one right now. I don't need her to have an in-game level oh man, she went back for that dance, or she went back to save him. Please don't do that, because What If Captain Carter is the best Captain Carter. She has funny moments with Tony, where he's like, I love your made up words. When he hears radiation, she says flux capacitor. That's funny. I already mentioned the Hulk and Happy Hogan speech, are the way they talk, hilarious and funny. One of the interesting things were the Yellow Jacket assassins, like multiple people who shrink and get bigger. But then you have Scott Lang, Paul Rudd going, hey, shrinking, that's my thing, which is an allusion to, I mean, it's kind of the comic book movie curse, right? You can't even just attribute it to only Marvel movies, because who does Superman fight in that Man of Steel movie? Fights Zod, right? Equally strong guy. Tony fights Ironmonger, which Zod isn't from the comics. He's actually a movie original character, which is really good original character. But let's talk about Marvel here. While Tony's rival, one of his rivals, they use suits. My guy here, he fights gamma people. He fights gods, amongst other things. Cap fights, other spies and other super soldiers, etc., etc. There have so many varied villains that, like, MODOK is technically a Captain America villain. He started off in the Captain America comic books. You know how cool it would have been to just have MODOK kind of show up in Iron Man, and then gradually move towards Captain America, even though they turned Adrian Killian into Albert Wesker. But again, I'm not going to go off on that. it is funny that was called out, that was shouted out. Steve being Robin Hood was a choice. I didn't see that coming because I don't think to myself, oh, she needs a thief to steal something. I'm thinking the thief is going to be Black Widow and Hawkeye. Apparently, Black Widow and Hawkeye don't show up in this. You do get, you get Scott and you get Bucky. But the fact that Steve was the Forerunner did kind of confuse me. Not that because he didn't remember. It's because Bucky was like, well, wait, that's impossible. Because they remembered their shared history. So it appears that when people are pulled in from a multiverse, through whatever means, through rifts, through a time stone, through other things, if you have a shared history with someone else that has been pulled through a multiverse, the world itself starts to create the stories, and the stories come into your mind where it's like, hey, yeah, we grew up, yeah, my Peg, she died, blah 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 blah, which is what he said. Well, my fair Margaret, and everyone they have these shared experiences and shared backstories. Even with Happy Hogan and then people, showing fealty and loyalty to the kingdom that Thor has. As a matter of fact, what's these other these other shout outs, like the Isles of Ego or the Groot Grove. There's another one with Nebula. I feel bad that I'm forgetting what Nebula's was. Nebula's was not Flux Cadet, Nebula Observatory, right? So somehow it shifts, the world, the multiverse itself shifts so that these people can fit in here. And this is a 1602 universe, right? What is another reference? So when Steve is talking to Captain Carter, and he's like, tell me about your Steve Rogers. And she goes, no. She kind of pauses and looks at him. I'm like, oh, you're going to tell him about Mr. Hydra Stomper, the Winter Steve? And she goes, no, I don't think I will. Haha, call back to Endgame, guys. With Captain America looking like Joe Biden. Hey, guys. Yeah. I liked it, and then I didn't like it because I just went, and then I went, you can't use that line again. And we do, like in our comic book movies, you can thank The Dark Knight for this. We do, like in our comic book movies and media based on comic book movies, we do like when that line's a callback. You said that to him earlier, or hey, that person said that a long time ago, and now it's come back for right now. Those are cute. We like those. For some reason, I like this and I didn't like it. Do not have Captain Carter's story end with her staying in the past with Steve to have the kids. Let this one just be a Captain America like in the comics. Just please. Plus, wait a minute. Plus, the Winter Steve. The Winter Steve is the Hydra Stomper. He's still alive. He's literally still alive out there. So there's no reason for her to go back in time. You guys have written it in a way that she can always pop up. Thank you. And because you've shown that you can make original stories like you did with Cohorty, they can have original adventures. Whew. All right, now I have nothing else to worry about when it comes to Captain Carter. Happy ending. Hulk is funny. Tony makes a box that's supposed to take the cube or the thing in the middle of the scepter that can power 1,000 ships. And I'm thinking that it's just going to be a box to make a portal to find the guy, because we're at a court session. That's when everyone's supposed to show up. But when she sticks her hands in the box, it just makes the Iron Man gauntlets, but with wood and metal pieces. You press the button. I do seeing the Scarlet Witch be on their side, like she's trying to hold the rift closed. Thor has a vibranium sword gifted to him from Wakanda, and it's so cool because that is a throwback to the Allfather sword, to the sword Ragnarok. He's throwing his electricity through it, battling the action scenes in here very much like a movie, but they're actually really, really good. Showing that while she's trying to keep a rift from killing everyone and trying to hold Thor in place, does not really work well when her attention is divided. So I'm interested in seeing how many people are going to have the argument of who's stronger, Thor or the Scarlet Witch. It really should be Thor, technically. I'm just being honest. Thor is a literal god. He should actually be super strong. But anyway, very, very good episode. I don't even know, because the whole I don't think I will. That's a nitpick there. I laughed and I popped a little bit, sorry, wrestling terms, and cheered a little bit with that. Tony giving Bruce grain alcohol in the morning. That was funny. Very on brand for Tony. Hulk going when Captain Carter goes, what's going to be the signal? Hulk busting through going, signal. That's very funny. Smash, dash your puny gods. That's hilarious. Very good episode. And once everything settles, the world is normal like in 1602. And Captain Carter, she gives us the over voice instead of the Watcher saying. There's a superstitious saying back in her world where victory was a curse. That's because every battle you won, every inch forward, every time you were able to, defeat the bad guys, that means that you're only getting further and further away from home. And Supreme Strange shows up, and she thought it was the Watcher. He's like, room for one more. And she's like, you're here to gloat and tell you I was right. He's like, oh no, I'm here. And she's like, Steven, do I have a story for you? And that's gonna be episode 9. I'm looking forward to this because I seen the title. I know what's supposed to happen. I'm hoping this season has a good ending for what that next episode is supposed to be. But this is a 5 out of 5. Like 1602 Avengers, I did mention earlier, that's also a callback because there was comics called Marvel 1602. There's Spider-Man 1602. There's Avengers 1602. There's X-Men 1602. It's back in that Elizabethan-ish era. Yeah. Just like the Noir series with Spider-Man Noir, who actually has mystical spider totem powers. And then you have X-Men Noir, which is less mutant and more psycho freaky kind of thing. Which, if they ever do Noir, like Noir and What If, just give them powers. Don't do the whole, hey, well, they call him Cyclops because he got stabbed in one eye. No, don't do that. Just let people have their powers. But regardless of all that, I've gone all around the world with this. This, by the way, this animation is what's being used for X-Men 97. So if you are okay with this, which this isn't bad, not bad at all, you're not going to get the old hand-drawn way like it was before. As a matter of fact, you probably wouldn't even want it that way because the second and third seasons of the X-Men anime series did not look all that good anyway. So watch and enjoy. But this episode, by far, 5 out of 5. This season is very hard to pick which episodes are infinitely better because every episode has been pretty damn good. This is easily top 5 over the entire series. I think it's only because of how well developed and how much we have gotten to see Captain Carter. I sincerely hope within one of these 3-ish Avenger movies we get with the multiverse, if I gotta see Captain Carter team up with Chris Evans, Captain America, and I need to see that fight because seeing it here was pretty cool. Also, it makes sense that in here, Robin Hood Steve had a buckler type shield because he had the Wakanda type shields with like those mid shields that weren't round. So that makes tons of sense here. Very good episode. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below, please. Do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of more reviews just like this one. We got one more episode, and then we're going to have fun with X-Men 97, and then I can somehow binge through 5 hours of Echo. It is an hour an episode, right? Binge through all that, or what we should call, Daredevil 3.5. I'm looking forward to seeing it. People have asked me my opinion, and I haven't seen it yet, but please don't forget, subscribe, notification bell. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate each and every last one of you. Be good, be blessed, wash those hands. Hope you had a safe and wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Be good to yourselves, be good to others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk. All right? Remember, there are people out there that care about you and that love you. Reach out to somebody if you're feeling, really down and you're feeling low. There are people that would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. So reach out. All right. If you want to talk to me, my socials are in the description below, right below that Patreon link. Oh, sorry. Winked on the wrong side. So send me a message. Say hi. Just don't be a jerk and we'll be good. All right. All right. Until next time, true believers, Excelsior.